Hello, my beautiful Libras. Welcome to your July reading. This is what is in store for you for the month of July. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. If you are in the States, kind of a weird time in the collective. We are in the Sirius Stargate, so that is like our second sun or spiritual sun, and everything's feeling very heightened right now. Very intense highs and intense lows. So if you're going through this, just know we come out of that on the 7th. And if you would like a personal reading or an energy clearing session with me, you can book that down below in the description box. The link is there. And all right, Libra, let's see what is in store for you, my beauties, today. What do my Libras have to look forward to this month, Spirit? I'm going to pull that one and see if anything else flies out. That one kind of came out wonky. What else is in store for my Libras this month, please, Spirit? Oh, I guess that's it. All right, then what is the lesson that my Libras are learning this month? What are the lessons? Thank you. Okay, so we got the three, oh, sorry. I'll read these out when we're done. How about that? And what, oops, I was gonna ask what the spiritual guidance was, but they just flew out. And then what is the overall energy, please, of the month for Libras? What is the overall energy they can look into? All right. I'm gonna pull some clarifiers now for you all, Libra, as well. And we will, oh, they're telling me not this deck. Excuse me. Let's pull this deck. Okay. Clarifiers for my Libra reading. All right, can I get a clarifier for this first deck, please? Thank you, Spirit. Can I get a clarifier for the second stack? Oh, all right. So many came out there. I'm getting to take them all. There's a lot there in your lessons, Libra, so we'll see what that is all about. Can I get a clarifier for this third stack, please? Thank you. And a clarifier for this last stack. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so what you all got in the very beginning, Libra, is what you have to look forward to is this 10 of Wands, which is usually a card of oppression, but it's reversed here. So you're coming out of a very oppressive and repressed and kind of just difficult time, Libra. If I remember correctly, what was going on last month was you were actually finding more balance in your life and in your foundations. And with this closure happening, with this culmination of all your kind of hard work being done, just know that this clarifier here with the 5 of Wands, that there's no competition. This is not about competition. This is about collaboration. There is no need to fight with anybody or to fight with yourself, but yet to be in flow and to allow things to flow into your reality and know that what is meant for you, if you're asking on a daily basis for Spirit and your guides and higher self to bring to you what is meant for you, that everything that arrives, whether it seems kind of good or bad, is either pushing you for growth and expansion or pushing you out of your comfort zone. It's giving you this opportunity or like a gift to utilize what you've learned to move forward and almost like test to see if you have distilled the lessons enough to choose something different in this, circumstance, if that makes sense. So remember, it's not about it is about collaboration. It is not about, there's no challenges here, really. What I'm getting is like this need or necessity to really shift your mindset around things happening in your reality that seem really difficult or challenging at this time, to look at it as a gift, to look at it as something that is like a gift that is hidden, if you will, a gift or blessing in disguise, right? And so like I said earlier, it's not it is about collaboration. It's not about conflict, but conflict resolution. It's not about reacting, yet instead of reacting, what we want to do is we want to come from a very conscientious place of utilizing our words, of responding as opposed to reacting, okay? And there's no competition, you know. The only competition should be with yourself, and to be doing today better than what you did yesterday. So let's say you have an interaction that is really challenging for you right now. You have to have a really difficult conversation with somebody. Instead of being reactive, come to a neutral place, and when you find that neutrality, engage with them and say, hey, you know, try to like broaden the perspective and see from a broader perspective, a higher vantage point of the whole, right? The greater good of the whole. Allow yourself room for both of you to speak, to share your thoughts and your truth, and see if there's some conflict resolution that could come through that conversation. It's all about conscious interactions right now, and especially because we are in that serious Stargate for the next couple days, or until tomorrow. Actually, it's already the 6th. But what's happening is everything is amplified. So if you even need to wait until after that to engage in this conversation, allow the emotions to move through you until you can come to a neutral place, until you can find that neutral place to engage. Look at solutions rather than fighting or the problem, if you will. Focus on the solution and where you can find that. You're coming out of a very, very intense cycle, and it's closing. So just know, don't resort back to reactive behavior. Okay, Libra? All right, so what that's what you have to look forward to this month. You guys are really transcending something big. And what the lessons are, you guys got the 2 of Swords reversed, the 7 of Cups reversed, the Father of Wands upright, and the 3 of Cups reversed, with clarifiers of the 5 of Swords yet again, or that was the 5 of Wands. So here's the 5 of Swords, the Tower, the World, both upright, the Fool reversed, Death upright, and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so the lessons that you're learning this month, Libra, you're learning how to make choices this is what I'm getting. You're learning how to make choices based on a place of less about weighing in your logical mind and more about something lighting within you, something burning within you as a burning desire, or like a match strike deep within that's like this yes, right? All of your cells light up. Like you're working through this quote unquote fire energy, or like activation energy, to make your choices moving forward. When we look at the 2 of Swords, is all about a choice that needs to be made. This is reversed here. Then we have the 7 of Cups, which is all about choices in our like emotional state, choices in love, choices in the things that our hearts are drawn to. And this is reversed, okay? So both of these cards being choice, being connected to choice, there is something here. Then you have the 3 of Cups, which is all about celebration and coming together. But then all 3 of these were reversed. And so what you had upright was this King of Wands. And the Wand suit is all about fire. It's all about activation, right? And so that's where I'm getting that your choices are being made from a different place now. And this is not something, it may feel a bit foreign to you. It may feel a bit like uncharted territory, but don't sell it short, right? This celebration energy here, it's like you're almost like not sure whether to celebrate this kind of like new way of being that you're stepping into. But I will say that there is something here for you and why you're being led to make choices in this new way. So listen to those instincts, okay, Libra? So interestingly enough, I think what has caused this, or what has, you know, kind of propelled you into this new way of making choices, when we have the Five of Swords here, right? And then if I remember correctly, you guys got the Tower last month, and I think you went through a big Tower moment, a big like foundational shift. Then we have the World. What's happening in world events is very, in the collective, is very interesting right now. And there's so much shifting that it is making it almost difficult to really stay the same. You know, it's almost forcing us into this uncharted territory of transition, change, amplification, transcendence, you know, looking for these higher perspectives. Then we had the Fool reversed, which is usually taking some sort of leap of faith, which you haven't quite done. Like you've, I think, really been sitting with the choices and this new way of being. You haven't quite like thrown it out into the world yet. But I think some of you went through some really big ego deaths. That was huge last month. There was a lot of stuff that had to die off from our past and who we were, and the like version of ourselves that we decided to show up in or chose to show up in that wasn't authentic to us. Like there was a lot of ego death happening last month. And this Eight of Pentacles is like this you know, this focus on your craft, focusing on yourself, on who you are as you what you're giving to the world, how you're showing up in the world, right? So all these things have kind of contributed to you stepping into this new way of choosing things in your life, these new choices that you're making. And it's okay for it to be unknown. It's okay for you not to go out and totally celebrate it. It's okay for you to not take that leap of faith quite yet, okay? So that is the lesson you're learning, is to know that these choices, or this kind of direction that you're being pushed in to make choices in this different way, to do it from this place of inspired action. When we get inspired action, it's like a lightning bolt into our bodies, into our consciousness, into our cells, and it's like everything in us is like, yes, that's it, I'm going towards it. So pay attention when you get those strikes of inspired action, to take inspired action. And then with that, not only are you transcending and rebuilding from whatever this Tower is, but you're moving out of this point of isolation. You're moving into the world a bit more, and the ego death is going to continue to happen until all of it is released, until all of the old version of you has died off and released. So just keep focusing on what you're doing in the world and who you are and how you want to show up. And with that, there's a leap of faith and some sort of opportunity that's going to come to you. This new 0 point energy, a new beginning is going to come in this month for you, Libras. Okay. So what is the spiritual guidance? We got Justice reversed, the Daughter of Swords reversed, and the Nine of Wands reversed. With the only one upright is the Four of Wands, which is about divine union. It is about a secure foundation. It is about twin flame journey and coming together. It is about literally building the legacy and the life that you want. And so Spirit is saying here that through integrating your light and your dark, finding that balance of who you are and the shadow aspects of yourself, of who you maybe have made yourself wrong for, through that balance of integration and integrating your shadow and your light selves together, and through this Daughter of Swords, like understanding how this new way of processing choice and your thoughts is coming into being, that this cycle will end of taking uninspired action or doing things from a place of because you think you quote unquote should, because you think that you quote unquote need to do it because society tells you that. Like, if it doesn't feel good to you or it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm sorry. Like, follow your heart, follow your guidance, and this is what's going to bring you into this like divine union energy, into this secure foundation. And so with that, we had the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the King, or the Knight of Swords. So again, here's that Knight of Swords reversed. This is looking at things in a different perspective. You're already starting to do that. You're not utilizing your mind so much. You're not utilizing your logic so much. You're really starting to feel into things, and really that is the key, the feeling of things. And with that, not only are you going to get this offer or opportunity for new love, for being able to open your heart further, but you're also going to be gaining so much more in the physical reality. You're literally going to be building that throne from this new foundation, which is so much more secure, so much more in tune and in alignment with your soul and what your soul wants, and so much more in tune with your higher self and what your higher self has been leading you towards and asking you for. Okay, so just know there is a lot coming in for you, Libra, this month, which is really, really beautiful. Okay, and so the overall energy, we got the Seven of Wands reversed and the High Priestess. Really pay attention to your instinct and those little flints or match strikes within, okay? This is your time to be the light in darker situations. Your time to choose something different, right? Remember, ending that cycle, and it's not about competition, and it's about collaboration. So being the light, focusing on what the solution is, being like working less from reaction and more from a state of conscious response, okay? That is what's being asked for with this High Priestess. Listen to your instincts, listen to your gut. As you can see, she's holding this book here, but she's holding it right in front of her sacral. So look for that like fire in your sacral, in your gut, that gut response. And some people don't have this. In your human design, you may not have a sacral response the gates open for a sacral response, and that's okay. But listen to your instinct and intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. Notice the things that you're feeling in your body. Maybe you don't feel it in your gut. Maybe you feel it in your heart. Maybe you feel it in a tingling all over your body. Like, pay attention to whatever that is, that you get that instinctual hit or nudge, and know that this is you paying attention to that, the High Priestess, and then being the light in the darkness, like being somebody that uplifts as opposed to bringing down the energy in a conversation. If somebody's having a conversation about, how crazy the world is right now, and you feel like it's getting heavier and heavier the more they talk, try to bring a different perspective and shift the conversation, if you can, to a higher vibrational frequency. And what this can look like is, you're right, the world is getting crazy right now, and it's really difficult to watch, but like, where can we contribute to brighten a day? Where can we contribute to be a solution to a cause that we care about? Like, let's focus on that as opposed to focus on feeding, the craziness in the world. Like, let's focus on finding somewhere where we can bring lightness to a situation. Like, let's powwow on that right now. Like, what would you want to do if you had more money or the funds or the free time? Like, what would you put your energy towards? And shift the conversation completely towards transformation, towards change, towards a solution. Be the light in the conversation, be the higher vibration in the room. And as you do this, not only are you going to see other people's vibrational frequencies rise, but if they're not willing to rise, they're going to move out of your orbit, out of your field, because you're triggering them, and that's okay. You don't need that low vibrational energy around you. You're here to be a change maker and to balance the scales And that's what you do, Libra. So do that. Balance the scales, not only in your own life, but in the lives of others, and help them see things from a different perspective, okay? I'm going to pull a animal spirit card now for you all. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, you guys got the sea serpent. This is like an Ouroboros, almost a snake sea serpent eating itself. And it looks like an eye right in the center. So interestingly enough, what I'm getting with this is when we think about the Ouroboros or the snake, this is about change and transformation, right? And when a snake's eating itself, it's like that continuum, as above, so below, as within, so without. The beginning is the end, and with every ending there's a new beginning. It's a never-ending cycle. That is what we live in our society, in this world. Everything is based on a fractal. Everything in the universe, even a straight line, there are really no straight lines in nature, but everything is based in a fractal, a 0 point, and it moves outward in the golden mean, or the golden ratio, or the Fibonacci code. It moves outwardly, and then it builds on itself. So just remember that you're in a cycle, and this cycle will end, and a new cycle will begin. And the only constant in our reality is change. So we need to be able to see things from within, from this higher perspective, with more depth. When we think about the sea serpent, this is something that lives in the water and can move really along the bottom and be kind of blended in, or can float a little upwards and be, you know, within the water. And it's always a little jarring to see a snake in the water. When you're like in it, you're like, oh my God, there's a really big snake. You know, so it's a little jarring, but knowing that it's like, there's always something moving within, moving around in your field. Know that all is not lost. If you're feeling, the channel message that came through today on my Instagram was, if you're feeling like you've been in a big liminal space where it's just like nothing, you don't know what's happening, and it just feels like this great unknown, or this abyss of unknown, just know that things are reaching a point, or you're being given the opportunity for rest and reset during that liminal time. You know, this is your time to really think about what it is that you want, to really harness and focus in on the energy you want to feel, and create and utilize that liminal space as your creation platform. And then so from there, once everything starts, this is kind of the magic dark, or the gap, if you will. And so once that starts, your belief has to be so strong in what you have been pouring your heart and energy into, that it is coming, that there cannot be any doubt or worry or fear in your field. And so when you just know it's coming, and you know that change is coming, even if you can't quite feel it yet, and you're in this space of this liminal space, right, where you're just like, I don't even know what's happening, just know that things are about to start landing and falling into place and aligning. And when they do, the traction's going to build, and things are going to move very swiftly, as if a sea serpent was moving through the water. They can move very quickly. So, you know, if it feels liminal, if it feels dormant, just know that this is your time for rest and relaxation. And what's coming on the other end is going to be a lot more, energetically speaking, pushing you into this new paradigm, or this new life, if you will. So I'm going to pull Oracle card now. What Oracle message do we have for my beautiful Libras, please, Spirit? What Oracle message do you have for my Libras? Thank you. The Octopus. Again, just like the sea serpent, the octopus can move very quickly. It can blend into its surroundings. It has all of these little suction cup, like little suction cups on its tentacles, and it has 8 legs. When we think about an octopus with 8 legs, or a spider with 8 legs, just know that everything is infinite. that, like I said, everything's a cycle. Everything feeds in on itself, and whatever you're creating right now is coming into being. Allow yourself the rest. Allow yourself the time to settle in at the bottom of the ocean in between the rocks, and go dormant, go camouflage, if you will. Take your time, and when you're feeling that need to move and feed and engage sociably, then go out and do that. Be that creature. Grab onto the things that really, really light you up, and what doesn't, just leave it behind. You know, just like this reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. None of it is meant to be shoved down your throat as truth. I am just a conduit for spirit, and if you're watching and if you're subscribed and this is something that you're drawn to, there's something here for you. It may not all be for you, but there's something here for you, right? So allow yourself to really tap into this octopus energy of allowing that flow to happen, of landing and camouflaging, resting if you're feeling the need to rest, and then moving when you're feeling the need to move. Again, moving from that place of inspired action. Remember, waiting for that little lightning strike. I'm going to pull one more card for you all. This is going to be a moon card based on what energy you need to be in this month to really get the most out of it. Yep, here we go again. Okay. So there's release in the void. This is what I'm talking about, that liminal space. If you're in the void right now, you can see she's just resting on this dark moon. Just rest. Just allow yourself to be, and do your best not to push for yourself to be somewhere else. Give yourself grace, give yourself this time, really satiate in self-care and luxuriating what it means, what rest really means, letting your nervous system calm down and rest. Like maybe you're really needing a whole reset, not only on your nervous system, but maybe your adrenals are taxed, you know? A lot of times if we're holding weight, we could have a big fatigue on our adrenals. I remember I was about to have a nervous breakdown in California when I was living there at the very end. I just felt this like really big disconnect from everybody that I had been friends with and had been living with and had been around. And from that, I decided that I needed to spend more time alone, and all my soul was calling for was to be somewhere where I really didn't know anybody, to be out in nature, and I wanted to just be creating art. And so I looked up different types of artist residencies and retreats. I just stepped on another card, so there's something else here. And what was interesting and how everything aligned was I got what I needed, but it was only within a week of getting it. And the rest of the time was me getting that time to rest. You know, the artist residency was a weekend. And then after that, I got the rest of the time to rest, to reset my adrenals, to reset my nervous system. And it literally took 4 weeks, like a full month, for everything to rest and reset. So just know, if you're being called to rest, if you're in this void and in this liminal space, to just release. That's the other card here. Just release and surrender to what is needing to come up and out. We also have Pluto return happening right now. So we are being guided back to our truest version of ourselves right now. Any lessons that are coming up, anything's coming up from the underworld, from our shadows, that's all coming to the surface right now. Sirius Stargate is shaking shit up to bring all that stuff to the surface so we can rewrite it, heal it, transmute it. So just know that's what's happening right now. And then we have discernment and blossoming. You're blossoming into something new, babe. You are blossoming into a more healed, more integrated, more balanced version of yourself, Libra. And having discernment, knowing what is meant for you and what's not, that's that feeling in your body. That's coming out of your head and out of logic and making choices from this different space. Okay, babes, I hope this was super helpful. Remember to please watch your rising and moon sign as well to get the full overview of what this month holds for you. And again, if you need more support, more personalized support, you can always book a session with me or a reading down below. All right, guys, love you. Happy July. Peace.